Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to show you how I paint up the Confederate and Union artillery for my games. So if you've watched any of my other videos about painting Confederate infantry, Union infantry or cavalry, it's a pretty similar process. Again, for the dark blue tunics of the Union, I use game colour night blue, and for their light blue trousers I use game colour magic blue. I like these colours, they flow quite easily, they don't dry out on the brush, so they are good quality. I will use both colours on Confederate as well as Union, but to differing amounts. The flesh tone, that's Tamiya colour, flat flesh it's called. This one does dry out a little bit, so you've got to be careful. The timber on the artillery piece I used Russian green, and that's Vallejo. I like the green, I often use it as the basing green as well on my units. There you go, you can see me using it on this one, just because I think it's a nice colour. For the wood on the rammer, I use chocolate brown, and then for the silver on here it's game colour silver, just around the edge on the gun itself. To make the wash I use Liquitex Airbrush Medium and Liquitex Matte Medium with a couple of drops of black paint, and that's how I create my washes, and it gives them a slight gloss appearance afterwards, but not too badly. Then at this stage I go back over the miniatures and just bring out a few highlights of the previous colours. The gun barrel I didn't mention earlier, but I use game colour bright bronze for that. My end goal is to be able to field enough troops to do sort of the whole Battle of Gettysburg, but I think that's going to take quite a long time for me to build up to those sort of numbers. At the moment I think I've got 30 individual bases for the Confederates, and that's infantry. I think I've got 9 artillery pieces for the Confederates and about 8 cavalry bases. For the Union, I think I'm sat at around 25 infantry, 6 cavalry, and about 9 artillery pieces again. I use the bright bronze just to put a little bit onto each of their sort of cartouche boxes. And for the hats, I went for leather brown, which is game colour. A bit of a lighter brown, but I think again, when you're stood back, to use slightly lighter colours does help to just pick them out on the miniatures. I found these epic scale miniatures they're a nice scale to paint. Usually I do 6mm, and although I like them on the table once they're all done, painting 6mm they are quite small, so this scale works nicely. You still get the massed look, but without the having to squint quite so much. On the other hand, I do enjoy painting 28s because they're larger, but just to get the numbers on the table, it just takes far too long. So I'm happy with this. I do hope that Warlord Games will bring out a historical range, possibly medieval, but my preference would be for Rome, either Imperial but preferably Republic, or sort of Macedonians versus Persians. I think that would be a really cool range to go for, and I'd really like to start expanding in that period. So this red that I'm using just to put the stripes on their trousers, that was just a red maroon, just a craft paint, because I'd run out of my Games Workshop blood red, but I think it worked quite nicely. One of my many projects is to finish my War of the Roses / 100 Years War Period army. I think at the moment I've probably got, I don't know, the back is 6mm, so I've probably painted up several hundred miniatures, and I'd say probably I'm about halfway through all of the unpainted ones that I have tucked in boxes. So hold out for a few more months and then I'll get some painting tutorials up for those. After the poll closed a week or so ago, the next sort of period that we're moving into is going to be World War II, which is quite exciting. So that means we're going to get some games of Chain of Command going, which is one of the games which I like a lot. Bolt action as well. So that's going to be quite exciting. I've already got a early war German force, but I'm also ready to start painting up the later war. So that should be quite fun. So regarding the limbers, I painted up the woodwork the same as the artillery, the horses the same way that I do the cavalry, and the humans just the way I've done any Union or Confederate infantry. So I actually left my gaming mat at one of my friends' houses when I was wargaming the other day, so I had to use the old green felt just to show them off, but it doesn't work. It doesn't look too bad. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the way the artillery have turned out, and it's always good to have more guns on the table. We're finding that in our games, the more heavy guns you bring, the more likely you are to win, especially when you concentrate them rather than trying to spread them around. That seems to be the key to most of the rules that we're playing. So as a club, we've actually worked out our own set of rules, so we can get a game in, usually within about an hour. They're pretty straightforward, with a little bit of historical flavour, and so far we're finding them to be pretty realistic, and we're pretty happy with those. So shortly I will do a review of the rules so that you can get an idea of how we do it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe so that we can grow, and come back next time where I'll be showing you how to do cheap and easy fencing. Till next time, stay safe.